Give it a few more minutes for peeps to join. Babs, how are you? Good. Thumbs up. 10 more seconds. Carolina, what's up?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Estoy fantástico. I learned how to say go for a walk. What is it? Yo soy caminando.
Yo
Uh,
estoy. If you're walking,
estoy.
yo estoy.
Yo soy caminando ahora.
Muy bien.
I'm going for a walk now.
Yeah, muy bien.
I'm learning. I've been on my Duolingo.
That's good.
All right, let's jump in. We got a big enough crowd. So today we're talking about how to use macros strategically on a cut, a fat loss phase to stay full and also lose fat at the same time. And obviously here's a nice picture of some sushi. If you guys didn't know, mango actually works well with sushi. I don't even like mango, but if it's in sushi, it's good. All right, the big idea. When you're in a calorie deficit, hunger is part of the game. You're going to be at least a little bit hungry, but you can control how hungry you feel by how you structure your macros and meals. So, same calories does not equal the same fullness. All calories are not created equal. Part one. So, your goal on a cut, you're trying to lose fat, keep muscle. That's the goal. You want to retain as much muscle and you can still build. Manage hunger and stay consistent. So those are the main things you're trying to do when you're on a fat loss phase. Macros aren't just numbers, they're tools to control hunger and performance. Part two, protein is your number one weapon. So why protein matters most. Protein is the most filling macro out of the carbs and the fats, the most muscle preserving. So you need to be eating enough protein if you want to keep your muscles, because muscles are made up of amino acids, and there's amino acids in protein. And the hardest to actually overeat. It's way easier to overeat on carbs and fats than it is protein. It also has the highest thermic effect of food, which just means it burns more calories to digest. All foods require at least a little bit of calories to digest, but protein requires the most. Strategy, aim for somewhere between zero point 0.7 to 1.1 grams per pound of body weight. That range is good. If you're at least eating zero point 0.7, you should be okay. Should be okay, depending on how lean you are. The leaner you get, might be closer to that 1.1. And number two, include protein in every meal. At least 20 to 30 grams is a good box check or goal. 20, 30 grams each meal, snack, whatever it may be. Why this works. So protein slows digestion, takes longer to digest. So if you eat protein with other foods like the carbs and fats, it will automatically slow down that digestion. Um, if you just eat carbs or fats, it's actually going to be a little bit faster. So having protein is going to slow the overall digestion because they all do go to the same place at the end of the day. It also stabilizes your blood sugars because it's going to slow down digestion. So you're not going to get that big spike in your blood sugars. And that also helps with reducing cravings as well. If you're always hungry, you're probably under eating protein. Part three, carbs. Those are good for fuel, energy, and satisfaction. What carbs do, they fuel your workouts, they improve your performance, they help with recovery, and they actually support mood and sleep as well. So the strategy there, place carbs around your workouts. Again, a little bit before, a little bit after. Include carbs in meals where hunger is the highest. And the best carbs would be mostly the whole foods, like the rice, potatoes, vegetables, etc. Don't eliminate them. That usually backfires. You're going to be low on energy. You're going to have worse mood, worse performance, which leads to worse things like dropping muscle, losing muscle. Why this works? So better workouts because you're gonna have more energy from the carbs, which means you're gonna have better muscle retention because you're gonna be able to push more in the gym, challenge the muscles more, and they also have a muscle sparing effect as well because your body wants to use those carbs first before it uses your potentially your muscles for energy or your fat stores, which is better fat loss look, right? We lose fat to improve overall body composition, not just to lose weight. And carbs help with reducing stress because they have, again, that parasympathetic effect. They improve sleep because of that parasympathetic effect, and they increase adherence, right? Even though you're someone that maybe says, I don't need carbs, or I try to cut out carbs, keto, whatever, chances are you're going to have a weekend or event or travel or social outing where there's going to be carbs and you're going to eat carbs anyways. So why remove them if you're ultimately going to eat some anyways? Part four, fats. These control, but easy to overeat. So we have to control the fat intake because they're easy to overeat, but they do help with satiety as well. What fats do, they hormone support, so to make sure your body actually functions properly. Your body does need fats in the diet. Technically, it doesn't need carbs, but like we just talked about why carbs are important, but your body needs fats. They help with flavor and they help with satiety in moderation. The issue is fats are 9 calories per gram. They're very dense. The carbs and protein are only 4 calories per gram. So yes, we need fat, but we have to be careful. We can't go crazy on the fats. And smaller portions equals big calories at the end of the day. So think of like a whole avocado is roughly, depending on how big it is, but like 120 calories or so, just like one little thing, versus like a giant bag of air pop popcorn is probably about the same calories. Or peanut butter is a good example, right? One little tablespoon of peanut butter is a shit ton of calories. Doesn't really hold you over that much. So the strategy here, keep fats moderate, be mindful of oils, sauces, nuts, etc. Right? Try to, if you're someone who struggles with hunger, try to avoid cooking in the olive oils, those sorts of things. The Caesar salad dressings, those are crazy high in fat and therefore crazy high in calories. Eating a handful of nuts, even though it tastes good, it's not going to hold you over very long. Don't let fats crowd out protein and carbs, right? Your diet should have the smallest percentage coming from fats, but you do need them. Part five, how to structure meals for fullness. So the high satiety meal formula, every meal should have protein as the anchor. Something like chicken, steak, non-fat Greek yogurt, eggs, protein shake. Number two, high volume foods, vegetables, fruit, potatoes, rice. When we talk about high volume foods, even like a bowl of salad, ton of volume, ton of volume. It's going to sit in your stomach, expand your stomach, and quiet the hunger hormones. Number three, fiber. Again, veggies, oats, fruits. Fiber also helps slow down digestion, gets a little bit of bulk in your stomach too, expands the stomach, better for the hunger hormone signals. And some carbs, optional but helpful, again, especially around training. Here's an example meal, some boneless, skinless chicken thighs or chicken breast, some rice or potatoes, large serving of vegetables. It could be salad mix, could be broccoli, asparagus, peppers, onions, carrots, whatever it may be. Half an avocado for some of those fats, and some fruit or some yogurt. High volume, high protein, filling. Part six, volume eating. This is a game changer. Again, the more body fat you lose, the hungrier you're going to get, and these things become more important. Low calorie, high volume foods help you eat more food, stay full longer, and stay within calories. When I say eat more food, again, you're going to be able to eat more size, volume of food for less calories. And so you could eat more volume. It's going to help a ton, which leads to you staying fuller, which leads to you staying within your calories. Examples, potatoes. Potatoes are great. Those are super filling, low calorie. Rice, vegetables, fruit, non-fat Greek yogurt, air pop popcorn. Those are all great. Part seven, meal timing strategies. So there's no perfect timing, but you can be strategic around it. Options, spread meals out, more meals throughout the day. 3 to 4 is pretty good. Helps steady hunger, good for most people. Save calories for later. So useful if you get hungry at night, right? You have maybe some sugar cravings at night. Save some calories, save some carbs right before bed. Helps prevent late night binges, ultimately. Part eight, common mistakes that increase hunger, eating low protein, drinking your calories. The liquid is less filling. It's already one step closer to being digested. This is why I'm not huge on getting majority of your diet from protein shakes. Yes, you can drink them, but if you're someone who struggles with hunger, not the best choice. Too many high fat foods, also a common mistake. Not enough fiber. Fiber, call it 20 to 40 range. Ladies closer to 20, guys closer to 40. Eating tiny meals all day. Again, those aren't going to fill you up very much, and you're probably going to just keep eating tiny meals, tiny meals, tiny meals, and they're going to add up to you going over on your calories and no structure. Part nine, hunger is normal, but it should be manageable. You will feel hungry on a cut at some point. Usually when people are overeating, they're just like, fuck it, I'm not going on a diet yet. They're eating whatever they want. They're eating a bunch of shit, eating out, etc. And they start a fat loss phase, but they increase the volume of their food. They're making better choices, again, more filling. They probably won't be hungry early on. In fact, they're going to be like, Anthony, I can't eat anymore. Like I'm just so full all the time, which is because they simply added more volume, lowered the calorie, and they're technically eating less calories. But as you get leaner, again, your body doesn't have a ton of fat to tap into for energy. So at that point, the hunger is going to start to creep up on you a little bit more. But you shouldn't feel starving all day, shouldn't feel out of control. You shouldn't constantly be thinking about food unless you are, let's say, sub 10% body fat. But that is a rare case. That is like a stage ready bodybuilding type lean, sub 10%. For ladies, probably like sub 17, 18-ish. Different conversation, but for the most part, you shouldn't be starving all day, out of control, constantly thinking about food. If you are, your setup needs adjustment, whether that's more fiber, more protein, more volume, etc. Key takeaways. So protein is your number one tool for fullness. Carbs support performance and adherence. Fats are calorie dense, so be mindful, but we do need them. Build meals around protein and volume. Use food choices to control hunger. Same calories can feel very different. 100 calories of peanut butter, 100 calories of salad, completely different. A good cut isn't just about eating less, it's about eating smarter, staying full enough, being consistent long enough. That's how you actually lose fat and keep it off. Questions? Rich, what's up?
Hey, good morning. I wouldn't call it a question, but I just wanted to just kind of reiterate the volume aspect with the salads and such. That is a game changer when it comes to fighting the hunger. Otherwise, I would never be hitting or staying under calorie goal at this point.
Yeah, especially in your case, because you're approaching that 12 per 10 to 12% range. So day one for you, right? It was a lot easier. You weren't as hungry because you had a lot of body fat. Now, different conversation, right?
Oh, definitely. And I try to keep as many calories as possible for the end of the day so I don't go to bed hungry or wake up and snack overnight.
Yep.
And one item or one food, I guess, that wasn't really mentioned that I've been using and been having some success with is beans, like
Mm,
cannellini beans or navy beans, because you get a combination of a little bit of protein, carbs, and fiber.
yep.
So that's another hack that I've been using to try to keep full.
Yep. Beans are great for fiber. That's a big one. Good. Appreciate you sharing, Rich. Other questions, thoughts? Same with keeping calories at the end of the day. Big dinner to cap off the day keeps the late night snacks at bay. I like that. Big dinner to cap off the day keeps the late night snacks at bay. Catchy, Evan. Catchy. And cucumbers. Yeah, cucumbers are great. You can snack on cucumbers all day, pretty much. They're mostly just water. Majority of the calories come from the skin of the cucumber. So if you peel that off, you could definitely munch on even more of them. Other questions, thoughts? Cool. Easy enough. All right, guys. As always, if you have more questions, shoot me a message. If you are starting to struggle more with hunger, again, bring that even more to my attention. I know there's a question in the check-in that's there, but if you're really struggling with hunger, just give me a shout and we can strategize together. Cool. Peace.